It's standing here reading that I realise I really frickin' love audiobooks. Anyone looking for a cinematic experience with video games before the likes of Metal Gear Solid would have to read a crap ton. Imagine Star Wars where the only dialogue is scrolling text. In fact, the beginning of Final Fantasy VI follows Star Wars nearly to a T. It opens on text telling you about a war that happened a long time ago involving magic. Also, Biggs and Wedge. Seriously, I wouldn't be surprised if Star Destroyers started appearing. The game starts with the aforementioned Star Wars wannabes going to a town with a young girl they have mind control over to find a war relic known as an Esper. Wait a minute. 2 guys. 1 girl that does everything they say. Going to town. This isn't Final Fantasy, it's the story to a porn film. I thought people confused this game for Final Fantasy III, not Final Fantasy Threesome. I guess there's a reason they call him Biggs. Eventually Terra, that's the girl's name by the way, breaks away from the Rogue Squadron, before quickly ending up in the bed of some other old man. Seriously, everyone wants to sex you in this game. How did I even end up in this guy's bed? I was deep inside the cave. And she has amnesia? What did he do? Did he literally shag my brains out? Sorry, I got a little carried away. I think I created enough fanfiction for 20 minutes of gameplay. So after that experience, you finally get to explore, but since you have amnesia, here's a flashback. Did someone really need the toilet? Because it looks like they wazzed all over the cutscene. But of course, what would exploring be without a party to go with you? First you got Locke who saves you from the village, but he wouldn't have been able to save you if it wasn't for the fact he controlled an army of Moogles. Because if there's one thing that strikes fear into the hearts of your enemies, it's rejected Pokemon. You also have people like Edgar, who's just a big flirt, Sabin, who has bigger boobs than Terra, and Celeste, who likes bondage? Okay, now I'm just tired of these sexual themes. Heck, this game was made in Japan. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a tentacle monster. Anyway, everyone even comes with their own special abilities. Sabin can pull off Street Fighter combos, Edgar can turn into a rejected Ghostbuster, and Terra can do magic. And this magic is powerful stuff. It's so powerful she can make time stop to have a conversation. Enemies are just stuck there, forced to wait their turn, trapped in the prison that is the unskippable cutscene. But even that ability is nothing compared to the high and mighty Interceptor, the dog that could make you its bitch. Interceptor can not only block enemy attacks for you, but deal quintuple the damage of any other character, and that name by itself is just too cool. It sounds like what the Terminator calls his dick. Now that's what I call assaulted by a deadly weapon. Getting back to the story, the Esper from earlier needs protecting. Not that it really needs protection, seeing how it vaporized 2 people earlier and was hidden deep within a cave. Who was it that moved the Esper to the top of a mountain? Oh, the guy who tried to sex me. Good, at least it's someone I can trust. Just because you found stuff in a cave doesn't mean it's yours for the taking. That reminds me, did I find any X potions in the last dungeon? After warding off the enemy, the Esper transforms Terra into a... I don't know, Frieza's final form? Mew 3? Some weird Kirby fan art? It's after this happens we get some backstory on this event. Eons ago, humans and Espers lived alongside each other, but after a slight disagreement known as the War of the Magi, the Espers made a new realm to live in. After some time, a lady fell through a door leading to the world of the Espers, much to the concern of the inhabitants. Wait, if you didn't want humans in your realm, why did you construct a door? And even then, why wasn't it locked? And why was this girl wandering around the Esper Gate in the first place? I'm not questioning anyone's taste, but this isn't my idea of a good hiking spot. The girl quickly meets an Esper called Maduin, which leads to having a 1-minute conversation with him before falling in love and having a baby. And I know it says Madonna in the text box, but her name never comes up in conversation. Are you telling me that this Esper had a baby with someone without knowing their name? What a slag! After 2 years, an army infiltrates the gate to steal the magic power from the Esper world to use on their military. Lock the front door! You know by this point that humans can get in and you already have a bitter history, not to mention the look of this portal shouts enter me louder than a girl that hasn't quite grasped what dirty talk is. So after a spell is cast to suck out everything but Espers, Maduin kind of sort of forgot that his girlfriend and child weren't Espers. I mean, fair enough, you only knew her for 2 years. After being sucked back into the human world, Madonna dies and the child is adopted by the army. And you know what? Lucky her. I know I called her Terra earlier, but that's just the default name. In my game, the parents called her me. Who in their right mind would name even a fictional character me? And hey, if finding out your friend is an ancient magical being with the ability to destroy civilization as we know it isn't interesting enough for you, visit the NPCs for such great conversation as "Oh wow," "Strangers," "All's well," and "Kupo." Well, Zupo Kulalupo to you too, asshole. I made a friend with a cool house. I really like the art, especially this one. A lamp, maybe? Yeah, don't kid yourself. The greatest thing about this game, however, is the opera. A notorious gambler wants an opera singer for his wife, but the language in his letter leaves much to be desired. My dearest Maria, I want you for my wife. I'm coming for you. What is it with this game and not having a proper concept of romance? Log wants to meet the gambler to use his airship, but with the aforementioned Maria nowhere to be found, the plan is useless. Or it would be if one of your party didn't look exactly like the opera singer. Coincidence. Because story writers are lazy sometimes. Wait a minute, a guy said he would steal Maria and now she's mysteriously missing. Have we not put 2 and 2 together yet? Of course the plan works perfectly as Celeste gets captured and taken to the airship, but not before the gambler publicly removes her clothes. This guy does not mess around. All these sexualized scenes kinda help me forget I'm actually reading. Like most porn, you don't care for the story and solely care for the action. You just sit there looking at your screen until you get bored at 2 parties pounding each other. You gaze as people who probably aren't using their real names just constantly go at it. It's frequently discussed over the internet, and its popularity isn't dying down anytime fast. And with those few sentences, I just proved that RPGs are porn.